Hello, Facebook Live. It's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationsta.com, and welcome. Quick question for you. The question is very simple. It's, what are you grateful for today? So I've just been having a really fun online chat with Sunny. Some of you will know Sunny Olmo from my Facebook page or in some of the groups that we're in together. And we were talking about washing and laundry of all things. And I said to Sunny, because she was talking about the adventures of Don Camillo's. And for those of you who have followed Sunny's exploits, please go and have a read. Oh my God, so funny. But the adventures of Don Camillo's is a real life account of what happens when Sunny goes to do her laundry every week at the local laundromat out in the United States. And I was saying to Sunny, do you know what, you've reminded me that my washing machine is going on my gratitude list for today, because it's just right there in the kitchen. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to queue up. I don't have to put money in the slot. I just go into my kitchen. And today I had meant to put the washing on, didn't get around to it because I had so many other things that I was focusing on. And so it just reminded me that that's something that I'm really grateful for. And for those of you in my Magic and Gratitude group, you will know that I'm really big on what I call daily inspiration, where you are reminded or triggered by something that happens and occurs throughout the day. So for example, and it was, true example, I'm running to ballet the other morning, Sunday morning, I'm jogging, I just get to the traffic lights as it was about to change, and I do that sort of thing. I thought, it's not worth it. And then as I'm standing there, just thinking about, I don't know, what was I thinking about? I think I was thinking about my knee, because I'd had a little twinge in it on Wednesday, but having had a jog on Saturday, it was absolutely fine. And so I had a little run to the traffic lights. I stopped and I was like, oh, I hope my knee's going to be, good for ballet today. And then somebody on the opposite side was in a wheelchair. And so for me, that was a reminder to be really happy and grateful and appreciative, with or without the twinge in my knee, the fact that I had the ability to run, even though I missed the lights, to run to the lights. And then I have the ability to do the 30-minute walk to ballet, which is what it is each week. And so it's little things like that. Oftentimes I see people with a CNI dog or being guided, and it will remind me, even though I am ridiculously short-sighted, I still have a sense of appreciation that I can see well enough to just make my way through the day and do the things I want to do, and sit here now in front of you and be able to see the screen and, read messages and that sort of thing. So it's really simple stuff. Now, with the Magic and Gratitude group, we've made it a little bit more formal, and it's a 28-day program where every day for 28 days you get a magic practice to help you to get it in the muscle. However, over and above that and outside of that, it is such an easy thing to do. And as I was just saying to Sunny, I was actually sat here smiling, because we then get into a talk about washing machines. And I said, actually, because Sunny's in Boston, and I said, actually, I believe my machine is American. And she says, oh, what's the brand? Actually, let me call it up here. Let me see if I can find it quickly. In terms of what she said. Okay, cool, fab. And so it doubly made me smile. So it went from a crazy random conversation about washing and laundry to me sitting here list, and now it's doubly on my list, and I'm totally sat here smiling at the prospect of the conversation that I've just had, because it is indeed an American brand. I don't actually think you can get them here in the UK anymore. There was only one place that ever used to stock them, as far as I'm aware. That was Harrods. And last time I checked, and that was quite a while ago, they don't actually stock them anymore. They're called Maytag. And so Sunny was saying, yes, actually, so let me tell you what she said, which really doubly made me smile, and made me, and she just put something out. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, wow. Sorry, slightly distracted. Oh, she's put the commercial in as well from 1980. Oh, man, that's so cool. See, it just gets better. Just gets better. So anyway, so Sunny says, oh, yeah, and 20 exclamation marks. She says, that's one of our most respected brands, especially for washers. Oh, I just double drooled, which was great. And then she said it was the long running hook of adverts for Maytag, that their repairman would sit in a room so bored waiting for the phone to ring, because their washers were so awesome they never broke down. The man that played the long-running joke of being the Maytag repairman, I think, died a few years ago, but it got coined as a kind of colloquial term when someone hardly worked at their job, they were like the Maytag repairman. And so now it's what started off as just a crazy cool random conversation about something as innocuous as washing and laundry has now given me a history lesson. She sent me a copy of the a link to, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on screen. Oh yes, you can. So she sent me a link to the actual advert, so I'm going to watch that later. And so what I was going to, this was going to be about how there is that incredible ripple effect when you can do something as simple as finding one thing. And what's just been played out in what Sunny has sent me here is a living example of the ripple effect, because we've gone from, hey, should have done my washing today, I'm looking forward to your trip to Don Camillo's, to, oh cool, it really is it's a well-respected brand. Oh my God. And seriously, the machine has just been beyond faultless. God, well, how long have I had that machine now? So I wrote the article for the Metro the first time in 2005. So I probably had the machine a year before that, let's say. So for argument's sake, I bought that machine in about 2003, 2004. It's still going strong, and it's, as Sunny said, never ever had to touch wood, never ever had to call anyone out for it. It's amazing, it's brilliant. And so it's just such a simple thing. But if it's been a while or you've never played the game, then my invitation, if you're watching this video, my invitation is to do it. Find one thing that you are grateful for, that you're appreciative of. And you could start with your physical body, and you could, you know, if you have the ability to get up after this Facebook Live video and walk out of the room, it might be something as simple as being grateful and appreciative for your legs that have the strength and the power to pick you up and walk you to wherever you want to go. It can be as simple as that. If during this or even after this you pick up some water, it might be something as simple as being really happy and grateful and appreciative of the fact that you live in a place, if you do, where you can turn on the tap and get clear running water that is actually safe for you to drink. And I find that when you look at your daily life and find the things that you potentially take for granted, now I'm thinking of water in the toilet, again, being really, really grateful and appreciative that you, if you're watching this from what we would call a first world country, that you can go to the bathroom and then flush the toilet after you, and you can do that all indoors in the warm. That's major. It just really, it is. It's just, and I know it's simple things that you maybe don't even really think about. Sometimes it is as simple as, because people often comment on this pen when they see it, and this bit is a bit that molds itself to the shape of your fingers. How much gratitude do I have for this pen? I love this pen, and if I ever lend this pen to anyone, and some of you might be aware of it if you've ever borrowed it, I will watch you like a hawk, because the number of people who've tried to put it in their bag, and not in a malicious way, I'm sure, they just kind of go, oh, this is nice, and then they completely forget that they're holding it, and they go to walk off. I'm always there going, hey, the pen please, because I love it. And this pen, oh my God, now Shane and I were together, when was that? And he worked, so I must have had this pen, oh my God, about 25 years, something like that. Also got the pencil to match. It's old school. It really is a pencil with lead in it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And one of the reasons it goes beyond just being a pen for me is I write with quite a lot of pressure. And I learned typing and shorthand back in the day, and you have to go really fast with that. So I used to get like a blister on the side of my finger, and it was constant. Never ever had it, I won't put that finger up, it looks a bit rude on camera, but since getting this pen, and again, this, unfortunately, last time this pen appeared on camera, people sent me messages saying, what is it? It doesn't, unfortunately, they don't make them anymore, but they were known as the world's most comfortable pen, and I think most certainly concur with that. But since using this pen, never ever had another blister, and they were a constant. I always had this great big white thing on the side of my finger. And so don't get too fancy about it. Let's just say you're out and it starts to rain and you don't want to get wet and you don't want to be wet through, and you happen to have an umbrella in your bag. It could be as basic as that. So let's not get too fancy schmancy. look, if you want to get fancy smancy, join the Magic and Gratitude program. It's fantastic. It has changed lives over the years within 7 days. So that option is totally there for you as well. However, you can do this very easily on your own. All it takes is a little bit of imagination, and the rest of it kind of flies from there. So just wanted to share that random thought with you today. And I would say for me, I started doing it inadvertently, probably, now when did I meet that awful doctor? He was probably around 1997, something like that. So yeah, I you know, well over 20 years. And I started doing it first from a place of desperation, where it was like, you know, where the thoughts are, I would just rather not be here. Although I knew that I really sort of didn't want to die, but I sort of did. And so one of the things that just sort of slightly got me out of a hole was just thinking about, you know, oh, what's good about today? Nothing. And then it was that kind of almost flippant, well, I suppose I'm breathing. You know, it started off a bit like that. But then when you really get into it, actually, do you know, and we've got an exercise in the Magic and Gratitude group, which is called the air that you breathe. And the exercise for that particular day is asking the participants just to stop for a moment and take a breath. And if they can, go outside and take a breath and just be so happy and grateful and appreciative for the ability to breathe. Because the Hawaiians, I know it's going to sound a bit basic, but it's you cannot fault the logic. The Hawaiians figured out that the main difference between someone who's alive and someone who's dead is the breath. So some of you may have heard me talking about huna ha breathing, which is one of my favorite breathing practices, or if you've heard me do the huna energy clearing work, where you draw the symbols on the breath and you deliver the symbols on the breath. The reason why huna centers around the breath, it's the life force energy, what they call mana. And one of the things they figured out is the difference between someone who was alive and who was dead was that the person who was no longer alive was not breathing. So, you know, if someone is alive, you can take a mirror. This is one I made earlier. Well, I didn't really, somebody gave it to me. But you can take a mirror over someone who's alive, even if they're asleep, and you hold it over their mouth and their nose, and it will steam up. You could do the same with someone who is dearly departed and no longer with us. The mirror remains unsteamed because there's no breath. And so everything in huna centers around the breath, and it's such a simple, basic concept. However, if it's been a while since you stopped and thought about the breath and the air that you breathe and the lungs that do the work for you, then you could start with something as simple as that. And the huna ha breathing has been, since I first discovered huna back in the year 2000, it's one of my favorite relaxation processes. It's one of my favorite processes for clearing your head. It's one of my favorite processes for, you know, clearing out the neurology. And of course, when we do the and all the huna stuff, it's the thing that, you know, people will feel as we go through and do those sessions. So yeah, just thought I would share that with you. That was this evening's random musing, following my fabulous conversation with the lovely Sunny Olmo. Thank you, Sunny. Oh, Gordon, she says, Gordon Jump was my favorite as the Maytag guy. She sent me another link, so I'm going to go and watch those now and also get my little bonus history lesson about my fabulous washing machine. So yeah, it's a simple game. Play along. And if you feel so inclined, feel free to, you know, post on my Facebook page what your gratitude thing is for today. Definitely keep it up. It only takes 7 days for it to start to get into the neurology. And I've had people who've done the Magic and Gratitude program where on day 1 they were so depressed they could barely drag themselves out of bed. By day 7 they were getting out of bed with a spring in their step. Their words, not mine. By day 14, because they had no sense of life purpose or what they wanted to do, by day 14 they started to get clarity. By day 28, which is how long you get the daily exercises for, they were excited. Within 3 months, they'd met someone who could help make their vision a reality. Within 6 months, they'd run their first workshop. I was a delegate on the workshop. Within a year, they were so busy with paid work that even I had to go on the mailing list, on the waiting list to do a session with them. That is how fast it can be, just by having something like this be a regular daily practice. So when I say it changes and transforms lives, I'm not kind of just making up words. That is actually what has happened for people. And you know, I'm not going to go into it now, but if you've kind of heard me talk about this before, you would have heard me talk about the woman with cancer who had the miraculous kind of recovery, and that was just from the energy of the group, you know, sending her good vibes. So it has, both on a physical and spiritual level, been hugely powerful for people. And of course we had the fun stuff like the checks in the mail as well and all that cool stuff. But yeah, do it if you have never done it, or if you haven't done it for a while. I highly recommend it, and report back. Let me know how you get on. Okay, catch you all later. Bye. Oh, by the way, I am also very happy and grateful that you guys have joined me here today. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay as well, and taking some time out of your precious day to do so. So catch you all later. Bye.